Hello, my friend. Welcome back to our English listening adventure. Now, before we start, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where something completely unexpected happened and it changed everything? Maybe it made you laugh. Maybe it made you feel nervous. Or maybe it was just so strange you still think about it today. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you some true-to-life stories. Stories full of surprises, funny moments, and little twists you will not see coming. And here's the fun part. While you're enjoying these stories, you'll also learn new English words and phrases without even realizing it. We'll play a small guessing game. I'll give you a listening challenge, and at the very end, I'll tell you a short mystery story that will keep you thinking even after the episode finishes. So, if you're ready to smile, learn, and be surprised, stay with me until the last second. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. I never thought I could feel so attached to an umbrella. Yes, an umbrella. It's just a thing, right? But last week, something happened that turned my simple umbrella into an adventure. It was one of those days when the sky was heavy with gray clouds. You could smell the rain before it even started. So I grabbed my umbrella, my favorite one, by the way, dark blue, strong, and easy to open. I stepped out, and the rain began. Not heavy rain, just a light drizzle. Now, here's our first word, drizzle. Drizzle means very light rain. Not enough to soak you, but enough to make you open an umbrella. For example, it's not raining heavily, it's just a drizzle. Can you say it with me? Drizzle. Good. Anyway, I walked to the cafe, enjoyed my tea, and when I came out, my umbrella was gone. I looked under the table, next to my chair, nothing. I even checked the bathroom. Still nothing. I thought, did I misplace it? That's our second word, misplace. Misplace means to lose something for a short time, usually because you forgot where you put it. Example, I misplaced my keys this morning and found them in my bag later. Say it with me, misplace. So there I was, standing outside in the drizzle, feeling a little sad about my missing umbrella. Just then, a woman walked past me. She stopped, looked at me, and said, "Excuse me, is this yours?" And in her hand was my umbrella. I was so surprised. Our third word here is kind stranger. A kind stranger is a person you don't know, but who does something nice for you. For example, a kind stranger helped me carry my heavy bag. Say it with me, kind stranger. So I thanked her, took my umbrella, and she smiled and walked away. I opened it, and then, surprise, it wasn't my umbrella at all. It was similar, but not the same. That's our fourth word, unexpected. Unexpected means something you didn't think would happen. Example, it was unexpected to meet my old friend at the supermarket. Say it with me. Unexpected. So there I was, walking home in the drizzle, holding someone else's umbrella, smiling to myself and thinking, sometimes life gives you a little unexpected twist just to make your day more interesting. All right, now that you know our new words, drizzle, misplace, kind stranger, and unexpected, let's see if you can spot them in our next story. Have you ever heard a sound, and for a moment you have no idea where it's coming from? That's exactly what happened to me a few days ago. I was in the library, that quiet place where even the sound of turning a page feels loud. Everyone was reading, typing softly on laptops, or just enjoying the silence. And then it happened. A phone started ringing. Now here's the strange part. No one moved. No one reached for their bag or pocket. The ringing just continued and continued. It was a simple ringtone, but in a silent library, it felt like a concert. Our first word, vibrate. Vibrate means to move quickly back and forth, usually because of sound or movement. Phones vibrate when they are on silent mode. Example, my phone didn't ring, but it vibrated in my pocket. Say it with me, vibrate. So I thought maybe the phone is on a table and vibrating. I looked around, nothing. The librarian looked confused too. That's our second word, interrupt. Interrupt means to stop someone from continuing what they are doing, often suddenly. Example, the meeting was interrupted by a loud noise outside. Say it, interrupt. So the ringing stopped for a few seconds. We all relaxed. And then it started again, even louder this time. Everyone began searching for the source of the sound. I noticed an older man standing near a shelf. He looked a bit embarrassed. He reached inside his bag and pulled out not a phone, but a lunchbox. We were all confused. That brings us to our third word, confused. Confused means you don't understand something. Example, I was confused when the bus went the wrong way. Say it, confused. So then the man opened the lunchbox, and inside was a small toy phone. Apparently, his grandson had put it there for fun, and it was making the ringing sound. We all laughed, even the librarian. The man looked relieved. That's our fourth word. Relieved means happy or calm after something worrying has ended. Example, I felt relieved when I found my lost wallet. Say it, relieved. So that day, the library became a place of smiles instead of silence. And I learned something. Sometimes the funniest moments happen when you least expect them. Now, let's test your listening skills with a little guessing game. Okay, my friend, now it's your turn to be part of the story. I'll tell you 2 short stories, but I'll stop before the ending. Your job is to guess what happens next. Ready? Let's go. Story 1. Last month, I was walking in the park early in the morning. The air was fresh, the birds were singing, it was peaceful. Suddenly, I saw a small box sitting on a bench. It looked new, with a shiny red ribbon around it. I looked around, nobody was there. I walked closer. Here's our first word, curious. Curious means wanting to know or learn something. Example, the child was curious about how the toy worked. Say it, curious. So I was very curious, so I picked up the box and gently shook it. It made a soft sound, like something moving inside. I opened the ribbon, lifted the lid, and... All right, stop here. What do you think was inside the box? Take a few seconds to think.
The real ending? Inside the box was a sandwich. Yes, a sandwich. It was someone's breakfast that they probably forgot. I put it back and walked away smiling. Story 2. A few weeks ago, my friend told me he saw something strange outside his window at night. He said there was a shadow moving near the garden. It was tall, and it kept moving back and forth. He thought it might be an animal, or maybe even a person. He was too nervous to go outside. Here's our second word, nervous. Nervous means feeling worried or a little afraid about something. Example, I was nervous before giving my speech. Say it, nervous. So he waited and watched from the window. The shadow got bigger and bigger. Finally, he decided to open the door and check. He stepped outside, looked closely, and, all right, time to guess. What do you think it was? The real ending? It was his neighbor's big umbrella blowing in the wind. The streetlight made the shadow look huge and scary. Our last word here is shadow. Shadow means the dark shape made when something blocks light. Example, the tree's shadow covered the grass. Say it, shadow. See, sometimes our imagination makes things more exciting than they are. And that's the fun of guessing games. You never really know until the ending is revealed. Let me tell you about a dinner I will never forget. It was a Friday evening. I had invited my friend Daniel to come over for dinner. I cooked a nice meal, pasta, salad, and my favorite chocolate cake for dessert. The table was set, the food was ready, and I was just waiting for the doorbell to ring. Finally, ding dong! I opened the door with a big smile and said, "Hey, Daniel, come in." But it wasn't Daniel. Here's our first word, unexpected visitor. This means someone you didn't plan or expect to come.
Example: we had an unexpected visitor during our family lunch. Say it. Unexpected visitor. Standing at my door was an older man with a suitcase. He smiled politely and said, "Hello, I'm your new neighbor. I just moved in next door." Our second word, polite. Polite means speaking or behaving in a respectful, kind way. Example: it's polite to say thank you when someone helps you. Say it. Polite. I invited him in for a few minutes, thinking Daniel would arrive soon. We started talking and talking and talking. I completely forgot about the time. When Daniel finally arrived, the three of us sat down to eat together. At first, it felt a little awkward. Awkward means uncomfortable or strange in a social situation. Example: it was awkward when I forgot the person's name I had just met. Say it. Awkward. But then something amazing happened. My new neighbor started telling stories about his travels, climbing mountains, living in different countries, meeting interesting people. The whole evening became delightful. Delightful means something that gives you great pleasure and enjoyment. Example: the garden was full of delightful flowers in spring. Say it. Delightful. By the end of the night, it felt like we had known him for years. He even invited us to his house for tea the next day. I realized that sometimes being a good host means opening your door not just to planned guests, but also to surprises. Host means the person who welcomes and entertains guests. Example: the host made sure everyone had food and drinks. Say it. Host. So, that evening, what started as a quiet dinner for two turned into a warm, unexpected meeting that made my week much brighter. Okay, now let's imagine something together. You're my friend, and you've come to me with a small problem. I'm going to give you some friendly advice, and while I do, I'll use some of the words we learned today. Listen carefully and see how many you can spot. Situation 1. You tell me, "I always misplace my keys. I can never find them when I'm in a hurry." Here's what I say. My advice: keep them in the same place every time. Maybe put a small hook near the door so you never have to search in a panic again. That way you can avoid unexpected delays. Situation 2. You say, "I feel nervous when I speak English in front of other people." I reply, "I understand. I felt the same way when I started learning a new language. Try practicing with a kind stranger, maybe someone at a cafe or in a park. They don't know you, so you can relax and just enjoy the conversation. It can be delightful to meet new people while improving your skills." Situation 3. You say, "I had an awkward moment at work when I forgot my colleague's name." I say, "That happens to everyone. Here's a trick. If you forget someone's name, politely ask them to remind you. Most people won't mind.
and it's better than guessing and being wrong. Situation 4. You say, I feel confused when I hear new words in a conversation. I say, when that happens, don't be shy to ask. You can say, could you please explain what that means? It's polite, and it shows you are curious and want to learn. See how these words fit into real situations? Misplace, unexpected, nervous, kind stranger, delightful, awkward, polite, confused, curious. These aren't just words for a notebook. They're tools you can use in everyday conversations.
All right, time for a quick and fun review. I'm going to say the meaning of a word, and you try to guess the word before I say it. Ready? Let's go. Round 1. Meaning to word. Very light rain. Yes, drizzle. To lose something for a short time because you forgot where you put it. Misplace.
A person you don't know who does something nice for you. Kind stranger. Something you didn't expect to happen. Unexpected. To move quickly back and forth like a phone on silent. Vibrate. To stop someone from continuing what they're doing. Interrupt. Not understanding something. Confused. Feeling happy or calm after something worrying ends. Relieved. Someone you didn't plan to visit you. Unexpected visitor. Acting in a respectful and kind way. Polite. Round 2. Word to meaning. Now, I'll say the word and you tell me the meaning. Nervous. Feeling worried or a little afraid about something. Awkward. Uncomfortable or strange in a social situation. Delightful. Something that gives you great pleasure and enjoyment. Host. A person who welcomes and entertains guests. Shadow. The dark shape made when something blocks light. Nice work! If you got most of them correct, give yourself a small round of applause. If you missed a few, that's perfectly fine. The more you use these words, the faster they'll become part of your everyday English. And just like that, we've reached the end of today's English listening adventure. Think about what you've done in these 30 minutes. You've listened to real stories, learned new vocabulary, guessed endings, played games, and even practiced giving friendly advice. That's not just learning, that's living the language. Here's something important to remember. Learning English is not a race. It's like a long walk through a beautiful park. Some days you walk fast, some days you walk slowly. But as long as you keep moving, you'll always get closer to your goal. I want you to take at least one word or phrase from today's episode and use it in a real conversation this week. It could be with a friend, a family member, a classmate, or even a kind stranger. The more you use these words in real life, the more natural they will feel. And remember, mistakes are not failures. Every time you make a mistake, you're just finding one more way to improve. Be polite to yourself, be curious, and enjoy the journey. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope you felt surprised, delighted, maybe even a little nervous in our guessing games, but most of all, I hope you felt motivated. I'll see you in the next episode where we'll explore even more stories, challenges, and ways to make your English stronger and your confidence bigger. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep smiling.